I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23 Lions. This is episode 66. Kind of upset that we are not getting better sponsor confidence at this point because the first objectives of the season were all very minor. And yes, okay, we struggled and we failed those. Bypassed at least one of them. Didn't focus heavily on any of them. We've not only succeeded on the last three bigger objectives, we've had super success on 2 out of the 3. Thought for sure that would bump our sponsor confidence up to at least happy, at least success. But no, we're still mid-tier, 50%. That's it. Our 3 biggest objectives of the year are what's next. 3.5 and 4 stars for all of them. They're also the most challenging, at least on paper, because all 3 of them are World Tour level objectives. That part's going to make it tough. Now, the good news is it's a top 5 and 2 top 10s. So it's a little bit easier on the demands side of thing versus those early objectives. The 1 star was a top 3 objective. The 4 stars a top 10 objective. So on paper, it's a little easier and a little harder. We'll see what that translates as. But 2 of those 3 are coming up right now. We are beginning the UAE Trophy, and before it comes to its conclusion, Omloop Ghent, the 2 biggest objectives of the year, right here, right now. UAE is going to come down to 3 stages. It's going to be a difficult prospect for us. Mason Samuels is the obvious target to get the top 5 for us, but the reason for the sponsor confidence issues, the squad eval started good. Nothing's changed. And yet the squad eval is not doing well. It's okay. The registered riders, not okay. But we will have Samuels for this race. We have not had him for the last couple because all those races back to back to back to back. Too much on top of each other. Samuels will be here for this one. We have riders that should be close to fitness peaks. Let's hope that it does trigger before the end of this race. But that registered riders is the one that's really hurting us. And in the noteworthy results column, not a thing right now. Let's see if we can get that on the go, because that'll bump up the results tab, which is not maxed out. We can easily see this go up, but to see it go all the way up, it's going to take a lot more, and we're going to definitely have to be successful with probably all 3 of these if we're going to see this maxed out. Stage 2 is a team time trial, and as we set off, we're going to roll to an 87. Samuels is going to just take on a few seconds at the front and then peel off and never see the front again, as he is not a time trialist, but he's the one who we have to see get to the end with his 67 time trial, 70 prologue today. It's 17 kilometers, so it's a little more time trial than prologue rating. You can see Johannes Dalek is a good one. He puts in a good time. And Henok can put in a good time. Rotaseer can put in a great time. Got to make sure that we're not doing too much damage to the guys. Yeah, see, Samuels is just hanging on here to Rotaseer's pace. Henok, we don't want to go too long with, as he's not a very good time trialist. How is Samuels doing on the pace? He is recovering slightly. So each guy we need to watch very closely. Banuna can definitely put in a good time. Hurting Samuels, back it off just a little bit on the time and the effort for Banuna. This is all about getting Samuels to the finish line. Matoni, another one. Very good. 86. Okay, we can really roll him all the way up, but we've got to just back off to a pace that Samuels can hang on to. Ansa's been dropped. Nope. Oh, come on. Tony. Nope. We need our leader. Slow down, Johannes Dalek. Slow down. We could put in a good time, but we need our leader. 5K to go. We were first at the first time check. Not that that matters. There's only 2 teams that have hit that first time check, and we were so much faster than these guys. But Samuels is standing to lose a little bit of time. He is recovering slightly, but he's off the back. Ansa catches up to Samuels. Samuels was waiting for Ansa because he's not relaying. Really kind of ignored everyone else at this point. Exclude Samuels and Ansa. Yeah, 99 just cross the line. Maybe we get the team victory, but now we've got to focus on Samuels and Ansa. We already put in a solid time at 20, almost flat, 20 and 6 seconds. But it's Samuel's loss. Samuel's losing a good minute here. He's just not a good enough time trialist. So we're going to have to either hope that we have somebody else who can also climb and is in really good shape in the stages to come, or that 1 or so minutes lost for Samuels we'll have to try to recover later on. I went a lot slower than we could have gone. So far, though, it's still the best time out of 12 teams, and significant gaps over a few of the teams. Jumbo-Visma even behind, 19 seconds down. Movistar, formerly known as Movistar, now Telephone, is 30 seconds down. Sodal Quickstep, La Gruppetto, Cofidis, all off the back. And we continue to hold the top spot. So we've put in the best time, potentially overall. We're going to lead this thing, but our leader lost time. Difficult position to be in, but considering it's going to be how much time did he lose? And do we have a secondary leader? Samuels loses just 48 seconds. 48 seconds. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. So in the general, Samuels is 18th with only Telephone and Jumbo-Visma in play otherwise. But you got guys to watch out for. I mean, they've got Kramer's not a threat. Arroyav, 28. This is a actual guy. I don't know him. Arroyav, 80 mountain, 80 medium mountain. That's dangerous. Bowman, semi-dangerous. Brenner is definitely dangerous, but only 77 mountain. Koos is definitely dangerous. 78, 79 these days. For Telephone, no threat, no threat, no threat. No threat, no threat, and no threat. So Jumbo-Visma is the one to watch out for. We only need a top 5, and we are very well placed. What do I have in the other guys? Matoni has a 77 mountain. So we now have co-leaders, Matoni and Samuels. Samuels just misses on his fitness peak by a day or two. The same plus 13 that was expected is expected again here for stage number 3. This is the mountain stage. There's a medium mountain stage, like stage 7 or stage 6, right towards the end. So we do have a few days. He should have it for that. But the 2 primary leaders just on plus 2s as we enter stage 3. We still have 40 kilometers to go, but we are already on the verge of beginning the climb. And we are. 33K to go, and we're starting to climb. It's going to be a bit of a climb and then a bit of a false flat before we get into the main climb, but there's no respite from here. It's going to be difficult the whole rest of the way. And just that little section right there with Jumbo-Visma leading the charge to chase down the breakaway, saving me the trouble. Rotea Sear I had on the duty early on, but you can see how even with just a 76 effort, the entire team is quite gassed already. I mean, we're half exhausted before we're even officially on the climb, which means this is going to be an absolutely brutal day. I have a feeling that Jumbo-Visma is going to be winning this thing quite comfortably, just how this is shaping up right now. And we're going to be looking at massive time gaps. 18K to go. 18K to go. And I hardly have a rider left in good shape. Matoni and Samuels are really the only ones that are in semi-good shape. But as we're going to be climbing, we need to get our 2 domestiques. Get them to gel up now. We're going to have to put a little more effort in, which is not what I want. But we don't want to get dropped super early. But we are going to have to play the long game here because it's still 17 kilometers and it's a climb the entire way. This is going to be super tough. Jumbo Visma getting help from, is that like Lacopeta? Big field, tons of quality here. 80 Mountain is the most though, so it's not the deepest field, but it's still. Samuels came in 10th on the list of favorites. That's how weak we are, and the peloton is shrinking rather quickly. Just 121 riders. Okay, the two guys that we gelled up for need to be replaced, and they need to gel. This is happening way too fast. Stelic, gel. It's 13k to go, and we're going to be down to 2 riders very soon. This is... It's going to lead to enormous time gaps. That's one big, very noticeable thing about this. Down to 117. Onsa out the back. That 45 seconds isn't going to mean much, so Motoni will be sacrificing himself for Samuels. It's clear that Samuels is the stronger rider. Definitely has more energy left. That extra mountain point making a noticeable difference already. Johannes Dalek is fading. He does wear the leader's jersey. We're inside 10k, but man, oh man, this is not what I expected today to look like. Johannes Dalek has been distanced. The front? Really? You're going to consider that the front? I mean, there's the race leader. Oh, and the second place guy. I mean... 5 riders trying to go clear. 6k, way too far out. Motoni needs to protect Samuels. Samuels up to a 79 here. I don't like that it's 5 riders going clear because that means we're looking at 6th. Cross. Minute 49 down though. Down to 78. One of those guys gets dropped and is coming back. There you go. So that's going to bring it down to just 4. Trying to play the long game here. Trying to be patient. We just do not have the energy to push on or contend in any proper manner. Samuel's slowly upping the effort to hold the position a little bit here. 2.6k and he is fading. There's still 49 riders here. Just 2 left off the front though, so at least that has happened. Samuel's just an ounce of energy. Has the gel, 1.5k. Out of energy. Just giving his upper effort, his 79 mountain. So it's Backart who looks like he's taking the win, maybe. Orieva is going to re-overtake, battling it out for who's going to take the win. Latour is right there. Samuels sprinting. Please don't lose time. Get the same time as this little group here. It's a group of 11. Nope, 3 are going to attack and go clear. They're going to have a different time, and then we'll have the same time as this next group. So Latour, Prodholm, Richitello, those guys are only going to be a few seconds ahead. We are 30 seconds down. Should be getting the same time. The 7-8 guys right here should all have same time. Should. 30 seconds down with the position we were in is pretty good. But remember, it is Samuels who lost some time. So we are looking in a scenario of, no, he was not first with everybody else a minute and a half, 2 minutes down, 3 minutes down. He was 48 seconds down. So, or Ar Aro Yave, whatever it is, he's going to lead. That much is clear. But how the rest of that picture looks right now, not sure. We were only a matter of seconds behind those guys just ahead of us, the three of them. So I'd say there's a very good chance that Samuels is still in the top 5. And yes, confirmation, we do get same time in that group, 29 seconds down, overall 17, and then just the 2 riders there. So only 12 seconds lost to these 3. I think we're going to have a 12-second cushion on the majority of them. We could possibly be as high as on the podium after this. We were well ahead of all but, well, really Jumbo-Visma, right? Because the other team, Telephone, there's their highest guy, and he's behind us. So Samuels will have overtaken them. He's more than half a minute ahead. So he will have jumped them. He will obviously be behind damn it. My tongue just cannot get that thing to roll off cleanly. Aroyave. Whatever it is. Please correct me in the comments below. He's got a real image. It's a real rider. We're far enough into this that, I'd say he was probably 21-ish at the time, so a young rider who's just not made a name yet, but now is, quite the talent. Backart gains 30 seconds on us. That's the other bigger threat. How far down was Pepsi? Because they're all over the front end of these standings. Arceus, Hamsik, those are the ones we got to watch out for, but there's a chance we might still be in the top 3. And yes, we are still in the top 3. In fact, we are second place. 4 seconds ahead of Backart. There is the Telephone rider, Carlos Canal. 123 down. And Matoni is 5th at 1:35, even though he lost a pretty big chunk of time. That's nice. We need a top 5. And right now we have a rider who is on the podium and a rider who is 5th. And we've got 1 medium mountain stage to go. That was a difficult stage. That was a very difficult stage, and it absolutely did not go as well as we would hope. But considering what we were up against, considering how difficult that was before we even hit the climb, how exhausted everyone was before we even hit the climb, all in all, I think that was better than could be expected. Before we finish up the UAE Tour and that final medium mountain stage, we have Omloop Het Nieuwsblad, aka Omloop Ghent. And this is our biggest objective of the year. It's the only 4-star objective that we have to navigate. The goal is a top 10, and on paper, this is the easiest cobbled classic that we're going to come up against for the year. So on paper, we can absolutely pull off this achievement, especially when it's only a top 10. The reality at the moment, though, is looking a little more grim than that. One, we have a decent draw for today, fairly neutral, but nothing amazing. For 2, as there has been no proper breakaway all day, by the way. The one breakaway got caught really fast. The second breakaway got caught really fast. And now a single rider has gone off the front. Josh de Villiers is somebody I'm considering sending up the road here at some stage in an attempt to join a breakaway, but the field is not allowing one to get firmly established as we navigate yet another 1-star cobbled sector. This one relatively lengthy. The cobbles are easy. That helps. It helps a lot. But the best riders on the flippin' planet in this discipline, in cobbled classics, they're here. The Vanderpoels, the Van Aerts, all, or the majority of those favorites are all present for this race. That makes it a lot more difficult, because even though it's 1 star, they can still do something, even if it wasn't cobbled, that we can't do. They have incredible flat ratings, they can climb, they're very punchy, they can sprint, and they can navigate cobbles. So we're on the back foot here. That one rider still remains off the front, but only a minute ahead, but you can see how the field's just not letting them go. We're down inside 56K. Let's go ahead and get water one final time. De Villiers to do that. I'm hopeful that we can succeed today in doing what's necessary, but there's more undulation and there's more cobbles here in this last 55K of this race. De Villiers nearly back to the front. 170 of the peloton, just that single rider. out there. Nice short 1-star sector. Okay, it's this next one that we're going to worry about for the next little while. It's the last two that we're going to have to worry the most about. Water is done. So far, so good. Everyone is keeping their position. 44K to go. And now we're going to put our foot down a little bit harder to hold our position because we created a little separation there. Oh, I love that sector. That was insanely short. 2 more before you get to the final 2. And it's those final 2 where we are going to be pushing really hard by that point in advance, in preparation, because that's the danger zone. No breakaway yet again. And we're through that one. One last quick little sector, some undulation, couple of hills here. But then we'll be onto that. Now, the thing about those last 2 is they are also climbs. They are cobbled and climbs. Oh, Shimway with a puncture. He's going again, though. And he's got time to recover his position. Shimway is probably my favorite for today. He's got a decent cobble rating compared to his teammates. He's maybe 3rd best. He's got the best flat rating of anyone here besides Kareem. And he is absolutely our best climber. He is not a great sprinter, but with a 66, he could score a top 10. With a 77 stamina, I could see him scoring a top 10. There are guys who might be able to outsprint him, who might get picked over him when it comes down to that. But the attacks are beginning. The classics guys. Those insanely good ones that we're going to have to contend with. Time to hold position. Another very quick cobbled sector here. This one downhill. No damage there. Nice and easy. 27K to go. Little split. It's coming. Let's get a look at the profile of these 2. The hill part is only 800 meters. Capel Moor. And the Bosberg. That's the tough one right there. 1 kilometer, 6.5%, just about 10%, and cobbled. And we want to form our train now. Get a lead out. Bosco, first one done, but we've got the whole rest of the team. We're not going to use Bosco for this. In fact, we may just try to throw him on the back of the group. Villiers is actually kind of looking the weakest of everyone else, and he's very punchy, so we can use him up. He's got the poor cobble rating, so yeah, we're going to start with De Villiers. Incredibly not that guy. Well cobble rated, a little punchy. Put him out first. Janssen, that's the sprinter right there. So not De Villiers. Put him second wheel. Janssen, probably follow Shimway. Bosco just to the back. Kareem, his job to lead this out, so maybe we'll put him. All right, Havu working his way to the front. Control the pace, control the tempo. Here comes the attacks. That one's negated. Now we find some open space just before we hit the first one. Havu out of red bar, but he's got us out front, so we've navigated the first one, I think, successfully. De Villiers stays on his wheel. Kareem not able to make the wheel, but we've split the field. There's only 9 riders at the front now. That's setting you up nicely for a top 10 if this holds. Half a minute ahead at the moment. And then 32 riders splitting off to be the next group. On to the next one. Let's go with De Villiers now. He's very punchy but not cobble rated. So we'll set a 96. Can we keep a gap? With us, Dens, Laporte, Youngles. Scarseth attacking, trying to go clear. We drop Youngles, and it's down to 8. Havu looks like he's going to get dropped probably. 12.6K. Now a 48-second gap. And Kareem has a great flat rating, so he's going to take over here shortly. But let's get our guys established positionally. Now 55 seconds ahead. Watching that gap. Watching that gap. 53, 56, 57, 53. Okay, De Villiers is done. On to Kareem. 11K for him. We'll go at 97. De Villiers. Drop to the back. Just hang on if you can. We've got it down to 8 riders. Holding a minute gap. Kareem. Okay, 99. Territory for you. Red bar's long gone now. And he's got a good enough flat rating that he's opened it up to 1 minute. 8K. De Villiers has not been dropped, though. But we are pulling away, so it's 105 now. And we've got 3 guys for a lead out. Top 10 is looking really good right now. Can we do more? 52 seconds, though. They are coming. 6K. Carolus getting him ready. Kareem's done. On to Carolus. Down to 36 seconds. Gel for the last 2 guys. 3.3K. 3K. Back out to 45 seconds. Sprinting for Carolus. He's got no red bar, so it's a very soft sprint, but it's putting pressure on the other 2. 2 riders are dropped. It's Havu and De Villiers. Tell them to just sprint. Tell Kareem to sprint. 1.6K. Okay, now 1.5 is Shimway starting the lead out for Janssen. Laporte, great sprinter, great flat rating. He's got to be the favorite here, but Denz is fading. Yes, Denz is fading. We're going to be on the podium. We're going to get at least second and third, but with a lead out from Gerlis, but now a proper lead out from a Shimway and then from Janssen. Is that enough to beat Laporte? Hey, sprint. You call that a sprint? Oh my gosh. No, that's a 64-62 sprint. Onto Janssen. Laporte's got this thing. Janssen's are hardly even overtaking a Shimway. Laporte's fading at the end because we did force him to go a little early, but he's too strong. It's a second. It's a third. It's a 4th place. Top 10 objective, so we absolutely crushed the objective. It's not a win. The win would have been nice, but that's fantastic points. That's World Tour points right there, folks. We've won a stage with UAE. We've already got our first ever World Tour win in this episode, but that was a team time trial. They never function the same. It doesn't intertwine the way the others do. You don't get credit for doing that. The sponsor was happy, so it will go down as a stage victory, at least to the sponsor. But I don't think it set us up to get credit for a stage victory in a World Tour race and a potential bump to a nation. This could have, maybe, Janssen's South African. A Shimway would have been better for that as a Rwandan, but beating Christophe Laporte was just not happening. I don't care that we didn't win. The second, the third, the fourth, did anybody else get up there? No, everybody else dropped too far down. But second, third, fourth is an incredible amount of points for us. Wout van Aert was 18th. That's a super success for that one. That's going to help with the sponsor confidence a lot. And meanwhile, we have 1 key stage left of the UAE Tour, but that's going to wait for the next episode. I am out of time on this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.